Hello and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm very excited because of what's in this bag right here. HobbyWing sent me some really neat stuff here and I really want to show this off. Yeah, look at this. Ooh, wow, look at the boxes. Holy cow. I'm not a big unboxing kind of guy, but I mean, come on, look at, wow, I wasn't expecting this. I was expecting just a couple of things in a bag. This is neat stuff. So what this is this is the F4 flight controller and the 40 amp 4-in-1 ESC stack. And then this is the micro video transmitter that plugs right on top of the stack, so you don't have to worry about using double-sided sticky tape for your video transmitter. It just fits right here on top and makes a very nice clean stack. So as you can see, I mean, the packaging, I know I'm going on and on about the packaging, but if a company cares enough about the packaging, then you know damn good and well they care about the quality of their products. And as you can see here, the packaging is made so that the components cannot vibrate around, bounce around in there, do any damage before you can actually start using it. I really appreciated that. We're going to start out with the VTX. The VTX itself can be used as a standalone product. And if you use it as a standalone product, you just have to simply short out these two pads right here. They're already pre-soldered. So you just run your soldering iron over the top of that. It shorts those two pads out. And that's for the OSD when it's mated with the F4 board, so the flight controller. But as a standalone product, you just simply short out these two pads right here. It's very simple to do. This supports 12 volt and 5 volt cameras. Here's your selection switches for frequency and channel. And it also supports a wide range of voltages from 7 volts to I think it was 24 volts. So you can connect it straight to a battery. And also what I liked about it was the antenna. So instead of having the small little antenna, I think these are called IPX connectors. I don't know. I'll put it up on the screen there. These are fine. These are fantastic for smaller builds, 130, 150 and less. But when you start getting into the much bigger builds and stuff, this is the right connection to use because it just pops in place. It stays in there, it swivels, and a lot less of a chance of it popping out. I also like the fact that they recessed this area so that the plug is not sticking way out past the mounting point. The milliwatts is 0 milliwatts, so you have a pit mode. It was designed for racing, so if you're in the pits, you can just turn the thing off and still work on your copter. 25 milliwatts for racing, that's standard for racing, and 200 milliwatts for guys who like to do freestyle and whatever not. So that is the VTX. They included a very nice, well-written, easy to read manual here. And it tells you everything you want to know. So that's the manual right there. It has the frequency chart here on the bottom. So you can see it goes from 5362 all the way up to 5945. So that's a lot of frequencies there. So I really appreciate that. Once again, it just shows that, if they're going to take the extra time to write a manual like this, then they really cared about their product and they really cared about their customer's experience. So let's get on with the flight controller here. So the flight controller is an F4 flight controller. It has all the modern day features of most flight controllers out there. You have the Betaflight OSD aboard. You have a place for your buzzer. You have a place for your LEDs. It supports everything out there as far as your radio receiver. On the bottom of the board, I like this. Instead of just including a 16 megabit chip for your black box, you actually have a place for your SD card. And anybody who's ever used black box knows that if you try to get the information through the USB off of the chip that's on board, you can pretty much feel your hair grow. I mean, it takes forever and a weekend to get the information off the board. So it's nice to be able just to pop this out and pop it into your computer and read your black box readings. So that is also very nice. The other feature I like about this board is that it has the boot button right here. So there's no more chintzy little pad that you have to push and worry about damaging the pad going back and forth as you're trying to plug everything in. You simply push this button in and then you plug your battery in and there you go. So that's really nice. The other thing I noticed too is they reinforced the plug on here. There's quite a few of these stacks out there, these all-in-one type of stacks where it plugs into the ESC, trying to clean up the amount of soldering that you have to do. But the biggest weakness of these plugs is that they tend to weaken, or they include like plastic standoffs, and the standoffs break. I know I've broken many plastic standoffs before in hard crashes. And what happens is the plug ends up taking the brunt of that, and it ends up breaking the plug away from the board. I noticed on the back of the board they have a lot of reinforcement for this plug as well. So it's not just, you know, plied onto the board just lightly. I mean, it's really robust there. You don't get the plastic standoffs, and that is fantastic, and I'll tell you why. Because, like I said, I broke plastic standoffs. I've already explained that you can actually, and it's actually a weakness on a lot of other stacks like this, where you start to damage these connectors here between the stacks. So what HobbyWing has done is they included these little standoffs here, and what you do is you simply run a longer bolt through your bottom of your frame. And then it also has included O-rings. So you'd run this through the bottom of your frame. You'd have a little O-ring here. You'd have this spacer here. And then you'd have your ESCs, spacer, your FC, spacer, with all the O-rings in between. So it's kind of got a little bit of a dampening to it, but it's extraordinarily robust. And if you notice in some of my previous builds, that's how I've been building my stacks, is I've been actually just using long screws and then using pieces of plastic tubing or fuel tubing. But I'm going to tell you right now, guys, this is a huge manual. This is the biggest manual I've ever seen with a flight controller board to date. So you have every single thing you ever need to know about that FC. Every single thing. So it is really, really neat. Very, very nice. Well printed. I mean, they really took the time. First class, HobbyWing has always made first class products. They've always included manuals like this with their stuff for, well, decade almost. I mean, actually, yeah, a decade, 12 years. So everything you need to know is right here. Really neat. So you have the CRT, which is the current monitoring port, VBAT, voltage monitoring ports. It explains every single thing you need to know here. What I thought was interesting about this, it talks you through how to adjust the parameters in Betaflight for new people, and how to connect this FC to different receivers. I thought that was really neat as well. And then this is something I've never seen. I actually did a video on this, and I know some other people have as well. This is included in the manual. So what this is as we know, a lot of us know that F4 flight controller boards has a problem sometimes connecting to the PC. And so right here, you need to enter so-called DFU mode. So it explains how to do that. And I thought that was really, really neat. The more time that a company spends on their manual, the less time they have to worry about answering, support questions. And here on the bottom it says more info, and it gives you all the links that you need to have for your flight controller board. So you have your Betaflight, your GitHub, where to get the DFU drivers, the whole 9 yards. So it has all of that here. I thought that was really a nice and classy touch. It also includes a nice capacitor, which you should use. And that cleans up the video, especially on high frequency type, high kV motors. You want to use the capacitor. Also, too, that if you use like a dampened light, you can have voltage spikes. So you don't want that, voltage spikes to go through your system. And that's what's nice about a capacitor. Capacitor's job is to capture that extra voltage and then slowly bleed it out when it's needed. So that's really, really nice there. Let's get on to the ESCs. So the ESCs here, these are 40 amp continuous, 50 amp burst. I mean, holy cow. I'll never use that. And that's great that it has that, because I know I'm not going to be really stressing out this 4-in-1 at all. It also has a built-in 5-volt, 1.5 amp BEC. And the pads, as you can see, I mean, this is just a beautiful, beautiful product right here. It's kind of a shame that it's going to go into an enclosed quadcopter, because mechanically and electrically, this thing really is sexy. I mean, it's absolutely beautiful. I noticed they have an extra thick coating on this, even though I'm going to be coating this more to make it waterproof, snowproof, but it already comes with a very, very thick coating all the way through. This is a first-class rate product right here. So you have that, and then, of course, you have the gigantic manual. I mean, this thing's even bigger than the FC manual. So everything you want to know or need to know about this is all right here. I mean, this thing is huge. So you have your warnings, of course, you know. So yeah, it supports BL Heli. I think it's a 16.5. Yeah, it's revision 16.5 that's already included on here. They let you know it's got an EMF 8BB2 chip, which operates at 48 megahertz. So D-Shot 150, 300, 600. It also supports you know, one shot 125, one shot 42, and multi-shot as well. And then also regular PWM, which I don't think anybody uses anymore anyway. So that is really, really nice. But I mean, you can see here that it has a full explanation of everything, all the features on the board. What I thought was interesting, it also shows you how to program your ESCs outside of BL Heli, the BL Heli configurator, by just using your sticks on your radio. So I thought that was very interesting. I mean, it just goes through the different beeps that it does as you're programming it. And then here's all the features right here. The programmable items is all included. So, I mean, they really went through and very, very nicely explained all of the features that are on the 4-in-1 ESC. Okay, so 16.4. So we're looking at 24 grams with the included packages of capacitor and the metal screws and whatever not. And then with the VTX plugged in, let's see here, plug this VTX in. Make sure we're zeroed out. Yep, okay. We're looking at 30.6. Anyway, let's get down to the measuring here. So we're going to measure the total stack height, including the VTX, just to give you an idea. We're going to go from the lowest component here to this plug, which seems to be the higher than anything else on the board, on the VTX. And we're going to get a measurement here. Make sure we're still correct. Yeah. Okay, so a little over 21, including the VTX. If you're just buying these two pieces here, meaning you already have a VTX you're using on something else and you just want to use it on this build. So the highest point, which of course would be the plug, would be roughly right around 15. So 15 and a quarter from my measurements. So, okay, we're zeroed out. So let's get a measurement here of the actual FC board. Okay, so we're at 3620 according to my measuring stick here. We're getting 3528 on, yeah, so that we got to include that little nub there. Okay, so 3588 going that way. That's for the FC. Battery pads here, so it's 43.56 on that. Yeah, it zeroes out. Okay, so you have that, and then the width is pretty much going to be the same. So 3605 on this. And then the VTX itself is 3594 and 3586, I'm going to call it. And then also too, because the VTX is a standalone product, I'm going to go ahead and weigh that for you for guys who might just be interested in this. Let's zero it out, make sure we weighed it again. 6.5. Okay, there we go, 6.5. So that's not bad at all for this product here. If you go to HobbyWingDirect.com, you will notice that first of all, whoever designed that website deserves to have an award. I used to design websites for a living, and what an amazing website. I mean, seriously, beautiful, beautiful photography. Just a really, really nicely done. And the actual sales portion of the website is also nicely done. And there were some other things that I've seen on there. You know, I talked about the motors before. The one thing I didn't notice is they actually offer packages. So you actually can order a package that has 4 motors, props, and also individual ESCs all for one price. What I did not notice and what I would like to see is for them to have all of this in one package in one price. If you've liked this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you have any questions whatsoever, please leave them in the comments below. Also read the description there. I'm going to have the links on where you can get these products from HobbyWingDirect.com. And I'll also link put a link to my blog on RC Groups as well for those who might be at work and don't want to watch an entire video at work or can't, maybe we just want to read along at your lunchtime or something like that, you can just go on RC groups. I'll have a full write-up of what I have here. So thank you guys, and have a wonderful day.